Hello, everyone, and welcome into Zelda Speedruns. Today we've got a Wind Waker Randomizer Challenge Cup race between Tomomodachi and Magnusly. On commentary, we've got KitKat and Blanc, and tracking, we've got Whooper and Advocate. Gonna hand it over to our commentators now. Enjoy the race.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gondola. Yeah, so we got quite an interesting challenge cup race today. Tomomodachi versus Magnusly. Tomomodachi, first seed of the whole bracket, and she's also been playing for a while. I believe she started in season 4, and she's been pretty much playing ever since for the last few years.
I'm not sure if she started in season 4.
She's definitely around in season 5 when I joined, but around that time she joined. And then Magnusly, haven't heard much from the guy. If I want to say he's a newcomer, but he's been selling into the game quite nicely. So
he was the I don't know. What was the other tournament we had? I think it was the mini. Yeah, I think he was a mini blends.
Oh yeah. So like early into it, but yeah. But anyways, then we start at Rockspire. And then we get reading with the hints. So, we as restream people or just as commentators in general, we did have access to the hints in advance. So two windfall paths, an outside path, quite a few interesting barons. We got Baron the Child Horseshoe, Crescent Moon, and Western Ferry. Western Ferry means that there's probably not going to be a super swim right off the bat. And item hints of Windfall has Nehru's Pearl, Ganon Maze has nothing. Tree Branch has Delivery Bag. Pompion Vero also has nothing. Either Steel has a shield. And Forbidden Woods, Bosky Chest, Cyclos, Orca Mail are all nothing. So definitely an interesting set of hints and an interesting set of dungeons. Forbidden Woods, FF, Forsaken Fortress, and Jalhalla, FF being Forsaken Fortress. That's not another one. So, but yeah, it's quite a widespread. We've got one of the fastest dungeons. We have literally the fastest dungeon and one of the slowest and more painful dungeons, along with FW. So it's interesting to see what the runners do, and also it's worth noting the character models. We have Magnusly with like a Pokemon trainer and Momo with Lucario. So that's quite funny how that lines up a little bit there.
Yeah, honestly, the windfall start makes sense.
Yeah.
From Momo.
Oh, I need to refresh my page. I seem to be a little bit behind. Bear with me. Yeah, windfall start. I get with the double path hints. I respect it, and also, I've talked to Momo a lot about strategy, and one of the things that she does above a lot of things is prioritize path hints, which is definitely a good strategy if you want to try and get items quickly right off the bat. So it seems that she's following that strategy already quite nice. Meanwhile, Magnusly's going to Cliff Flat, which is more kind of more you expect for runners who want to try and be a little bit more. Want to try and avoid backtracking as much as possible, because right now, for the most part, Cliff Plateau and the areas around it, you can do pretty much at full speed with minimal backtracking. In Season 6, with the addition to Great Fairies, that's kind of a little, there's, Thorn Fairies now added into the mix, so it's very likely that sometimes you'll end up doing you'll end up missing Thorn Fairy, or you'll end up prioritizing that as opposed to BPR. So it's a little bit less optimal as compared to Season 5. However, it's still a good option to go for right off the bat. So we see immediately Boomerang.
Boomerang on Momo's side.
Boomerang on Momo's side, yeah. That immediately solves the Kali Demos path hint and Tingle Statue. So we see on Magnus's side that he is not going for the jump over the vines. I respect it. Can be a little bit finicky, so he's just going to play it safe. I want to say I did see him get storage, so he's going to do some of the storage strats. Yeah. Judging by the fact that he doesn't have a, judging by the fact he just got storage, he got storage. So I've seen Magnus play here. So interesting strat here where he goes left side, but also kind of tries to squeeze into the door, but he does it quite nicely. So we're all good.
What do we store here now?
That do be the question. Pharaoh's Pearl.
Pharaoh's Pearl.
Yeah. As Magnus doing on that side, Momo's just making her way through the rest of, I guess, the maze chest and windfall here. Cabana Deeds, interesting. That might be useful. That might not. It's definitely at not a barren location, so we know that might be something in the Cabana Labyrinth, but we will see later on.
Magnus having a little bit of trouble with his storage.
Yeah, this storage in particular can be a little bit finicky. It's one of those ones where it's like it's not too short, so you can't just press B immediately, but it's not too long, so that you don't have like a good like mental rhythm to do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, but yeah, no. I guess as a speaking of storage, Momo is doing the strat here where she is getting kind of like the storage in a way where she's getting storage and then talking to Coral, King of Red Lions. And then she's gonna enter like into this door here, and that's gonna that's gonna shrink Lucario's hitbox quite a bit. And although so that she can do Lenzo door cancel, which is an interesting play, especially right. And you know it's very very common in season 5 nowadays. A lot of people are a little bit more skeptical of Lenzo door cancel, but honestly, given the 2 windfall paths and given her playstyle of rushing path hints, it makes sense. Oh, yeah, and also Advocate in chat mentioning the fact that Poppy and Vera is nothing. So it makes... you'd be stupid not to do this on your first windfall base, in my opinion.
Yeah, because you don't really have any reason to not do it for now. What we get... Oh, we're not checking for Rosper right now.
Yeah, Magnus is just gonna try and focus on getting into BPR with the movement there. Unfortunately, missing it a little bit, so it'll be a little bit more time loss, but it's okay, because he can just swim back and try again.
Was the top chest spiky or not? I don't remember.
It was spiky, so we'll see what Magnus stored in a little bit from there.
Yeah, whenever he opens his pause menu.
Yeah. Sometimes if it's a specific item like magic or wallet, you can often see just purely based on on the HUD on the on-screen HUD. But no, but for most items you have to wait until you open up the menu, which can be slow. So a lot of people often just like to prioritize it with, or like combine it with saving and quitting here. But yeah, Magnus also getting money. Money is very useful in this game, and can it's there are many checks that require it, and it's also never a good feeling to try and do said checks and then realize you're out of money. Hence,
Spiky on BPR.
Like a BPR, and also okay, so we'll see what Magnus got here. Tingle statue, interesting. But yeah, speaking of money, on Momo's end, she did end up breaking those things there.
A shard. That was a shard on top of Cliff Plat.
Yep.
You indeed talk a lot.
I do be a chatty individual. Well, we'll see how long this ends up going for until my voice breaks. It do be the start of a seed, so there's always just a lot to talk about. But yeah, again, mark my words, by the hour mark, my throat is going to be dead, and then Blam will be doing all the talking. But we'll see.
Magnus going to Outset now instead of going to Windfall. It's a path, so it makes sense. Hopefully it's not just a shield, because I think it was path to Jahal, yep. Hopefully it's not just a shield.
Yeah, I mean that's like kind of the interesting thing about things like path to like on like the kind of like the slower dungeons and the more like item heavy dungeons like Jalhalla. Jalhalla is a dungeon apparently, Earth Temple and Totji. Is that often there'll be a lot of like kind of like debate path hints. Like for example, you can have a path hint that's for Godin that just is purely command melody. Yet in the vast majority of competitive seeds, command melody is like not used at all in Totji, and most people can just skip it.
He got Ghost Ship Shard in Mesa. Considering that Crescent is foolish, then I think the runners will use Diamond Step to get Ghost Ship. Finally getting Kamali's letter. It's dead. So far on Momo's side, we haven't found a lot. We found Boomerang in a statue.
I do think at this point we found more so on Momo's side than compared to Magnus' side. It does appear to be a little bit of a slower start. Although it do be like that sometimes. I think that, again, Momo going to a double path-hinted location, and a location like Windfall, like it does mean that she is starting to get more items compared to Magnus, but compared to most seeds at this point, it does appear to be a little bit on the slower side. So that's not any fault of her. It's more just how the seed is panning out. It appears. She's gonna be doing Mila for now. Again, like I've been talking to a lot of people about strategy in Mila, and it seems that a lot like Mila's kind of back on meta. That was a good period of time, especially in season 5, when Mila was just kind of like, you gotta do it with Fire and Ice, otherwise like that.
We jumped in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, Mag's having a little bit of issue with roll clips. This roll clip is especially finicky. Again, because that house position is just right there.
Yeah, we got it. Would have been faster to door cancel, but it's okay.
Crane would approve. But yeah. No, but no, like I guess back to what I was saying with Momo and like with Mila, it's like I think especially with more things like no starting magic, amongst other things, it does make sense that like because there are more requirements to do the Fire and Ice checks, it makes sense how nowadays it makes more sense for Mila to like be done prioritized a little bit early. But now we see Magnus heading to Windfall. And again, as I mentioned, you can definitely see the different strategies in these two runners. Again, it looks like Momo absolutely following path hints, and Magnus pretty much just trying to be as like efficient as possible, almost like completely ignoring the path hints, it seems, because he did do a bunch of stuff before Windfall. Although,
outset is bad.
So. Outset is path. You are correct. So like I would be surprised if there was like completely zero thought process in his strategy as far as the path hints. But again, in relation to someone like Momo, you can definitely tell that Magnus isn't prioritizing as much, and it just kind of depends. And we'll just see how the seed pans out. But yeah, no, I believe Momo is pretty much almost done with Windfall at this point, and Magnus just starting. Magnus peeking that chest, it do be spiky, so we might see what that is later. And it's kind of interesting how runners will decide to like peek things like that, because then at that point the runners gain information.
Momo's just going next to it, then going to Northern Ferry.
Yeah, that works. But it's just interesting how like, because again, it's like. Take for example going to Angular. If you go to Angular with like Leaf or Hookshot, but without Mirror Shield, you can't quite do the cave chest. But you can always you can enter the cave, so you can gain the information if it's spiky or not. And sometimes I might be misremembering, but I believe in one of the finals in season 5 that actually ended up swinging a race where Advo had that information and ended up finding the last shard early. I might be misremembering this from another time, but the point is that like information can be really useful. Advo in chat. Confirming it was grand finals, yeah. But yeah, no, never underestimate the power of information. It's, I guess, spoilers for my race that happened a few days ago to a week ago. It kind of lost me the race where Gymnast peeked exactly that chest and ended up finding his go mode item way sooner than me. But in any case, we have again Momo now checking Northern Ferry.
What will give us is a pair.
A pair. Hoi pair.
Yeah, this is a very slow start.
Like, yeah, some seeds be like that. It's
where do you even go now? DRI? I guess that's
Momo has Boomerang, so DRI would be quite convenient for her, and it probably will be for Magnus once he gets to that point. Although no, Momo going to Outset first because she hasn't done a lot. I think it's also it's kind of like having two runners side by side to do very different routes does kind of like will sometimes like warp your perception of like, because like we have to keep in mind we're only 13 minutes into the seed. We have a lot of information because we've been seeing two runners do very different things. Yet like, you know, if I was for 30 minutes in the seed, I probably wouldn't have like, I mean, like I would obviously have items, right? But I probably wouldn't, you know, have anywhere near as much information as we have now on Restream. So like it especially does appear like a slow start, but a lot of that is more just because as we're watching it side by side, we have, as the viewer, we have so much information.
Ghost
but in
ship
any case,
start might be the bad hint, honestly, for outset.
It could be. That would be scary because Ghost Ship is definitely an interesting. It's an interesting check. It moves around a bit, and say like when you get to the end of the seed and you haven't done Ghost Ship, it's very easy to just forget where Ghost Ship is, and so then you just end up, not doing it because then it's in a really stupid place, and then that ends up being a lost shot. And you're like, oh, there. So
Or you go do it and it loses you the race, like with spy and kill.
Yeah. Advocate in the chat just casually say, like pretty much just saying like the path that Ghost Ship goes: Crescent to Diamond Step to Bomb Island Bomb Island to Spectacle to 5-star. and also advocate saying in the chat, if it's past 5-star you cry, and I couldn't agree with you more, my guy.
I think it's Starbelt then Great Fish. I mean, if Great Fish is technically the fastest place to get Ghost Ship because you can just warp there, but it's like on the 7th night, it's pretty rough.
Yeah. Also, guys, if anything's weird with my audio right now, I did just like I turned on my fan because it's getting quite cold in here. So if you hear a bit of a blowing noise from my end, just tell me and I'll make it better.
You turned on your fan because it's getting cold.
Did I say that? It's telling my. I mean, hey, for I might like it like stupidly cold. No, it's hot.
Sorry.
No, you get it. But yeah.
It do be hot over here too. It's like 27 C.
Summer go brewer. Yeah. I want to say it's like.
I mean, at least your country
70s.
isn't on fire like me.
Yeah.
Canada be on fire. Magnus going to the Ghost Ship.
Yeah, I want to say it's like mid 70s. I know high 70s Fahrenheit in freedom units.
It is Pikey, I think. That's gonna be rough with just Boomerang.
Hey, Golden Devil saying ATF. I was close.
Oh, that's honestly that's not bad. It could have gone way worse. Just use the boomerang to hit the torch or the lantern.
Yeah, but yeah. Relatively smooth fight. Ghost Ship fight from Magnus. Ghost Ship can be a very finicky place. Like it can go if you don't have the right items, it can go south very quickly. So not bad from him. I've definitely seen worse. I've had worse myself.
And meanwhile, with only Hero, Sword, and Boomerang, that's pretty rough. What do we get on Momo's side? A single statue.
Interesting. I went to this place early because we do have Earth Temple as a dungeon. So that she pretty much has to double dip
grapple.
that, but it's not that much out of the way, relatively speaking. So
grapple on the Ghost Ship. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We don't have DRC, but grapple can still be useful.
Yeah, grappling hook's still a very useful item nonetheless, and it opens up a few things here and there. But yeah, okay, power bracelets on Momo's side. I'm kind of surprised that neither runner got that until now, given that was Beetle 20. But here we are. I don't believe Magnus checked Beetle 20 when he went to Cliff Plateau initially, so there was that.
Momo's gonna be doing the big pig.
Ah, that's right. She has baby bag and bracelets. Yeah. Yeah, advocate in chat confirming he did not check Beetle 20. He thinks, at least. But yeah, big pig. Less than 20 minutes in. Very rare to see, but here we are.
We are getting the daylight to heat the pig.
We are very much getting the daylight eat pig. So how this works is you place the pig in between this dude here, and then the pig will kind of go off center, kind of like that, and then you get to the edge by side hopping because it's most efficient, and then yeet.
You need to go to the edge. Just get on the fence and yeet.
And my guy Big Pig just goes flying like that. And so yeah, it's not a particularly hard trick, although many people have messed up on occasion. One of which being me. I messed this up at Speed Gaming Live last year, live on stage. That was fun. But anyways, and so we have a look at the chest, and that was nothing.
I think Elijah once sent the pig behind the highland because he placed it back down.
That is a very common way of messing it up because it's I believe how it works is that it just sends the pig to like I don't know where it sends the pig, but it sends the pig around that direction. So if you throw the pig just in the wrong way, you can just send him flying like slightly behind the island. But in any case, we see Momo going to DRI. It looks like she's kind of done with her path in, so it makes sense if she's following more check dead areas and just more convenient areas. And when you have things like boomerang, bombs, bow, something like that, Dragon Roost Island is a really good option. I almost said Diamond Step, but not quite. But yeah, no, Dragon Roost Island is a very good option to go with at this stage, I believe. So it does indeed make sense. And meanwhile, Magnus is doing stuff that Momo's already done when she was at Windfall, just catching some kids. This again makes sense because of the double Windfall path and just Pompey and Vera being dead. So both our runners have been able to combine that quite nicely. A with their first Windfall trip, and B with Lenzo Door Cancel. Yeah, I guess Advocate does have a good point in chat saying that like at that point, because of where Ghost Ship was, Momo could have gone to Diamond Step and conveniently combine that with Ghost Ship. She might be banking on the fact that it's like kind of near a more convenient place later, like Bomb Island, I want to say. But yeah, either way, what she's doing right now makes sense. And yeah. Yeah, like from what I recall, Momo isn't like she'll do something like Diamond Step early. I know she's very well versed in that. But anyway.
Meanwhile, Magnus trying to get in Lenzo but failing a bit.
Yeah, he's using. It seems that Magnus is using this alternate strat where he jump slashes onto the tree. This is definitely an interesting strat, although it does work for some people. So who am I to judge? If it like but like I'll do a slightly different strat where you kind of line up in front of not necessarily in front of Lenzo's door, but like kind of to the right of it, and then you'll just then you'll like jump onto the wall from there. But Magnus gets up on the wall.
No.
Okay, jumps off again. This can be a bit finicky, especially like with all things considered. But in the meantime, Momo is going for footprint. She doesn't have grappling hooks, so if something is on scale or wall, that might be a little bit problematic for her because then she'll have to do a little bit more backtracking. But we will see. She can do all the other checks here. Starting with that one, which is dead. And then there's this one, which is spiky, so it might have something. Bombs. That is power blade. That was like power bracelet locked bombs.
No, it wasn't.
Bombs locked power bracelet.
That was just the standing chest, so it wasn't.
Ignore me, I'm being stupid. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, I
want
to
say. I want to say that was dead.
Maybe.
It looked like it was dead. We'll see if Momo decides to go back there. If she does, it probably wasn't. If she doesn't, either it was dead or she's just being incredibly aggressive. So we'll see. We'll see either way.
I mean, she doesn't have grapple, so either way she can't do it.
She can't do it yet, but she might. But if that is something, then she might come back and do it. Although I do think that was just a brown chest. So
yeah, so.
Momo might have got lucky in that instance, not having grappling hook. But yeah, Momo is then heading south to do some more stuff at
Eastern Ferry.
This here Fairy Island, yep.
Wait, Magnus, where are you going?
It appears Northern Fairy.
Did he do the kid? No, I think he forgot.
Oh, interesting. I wasn't paying too much attention. But either way, on Momo's End we have Leaf. We don't have magic, so we can't use the Leaf. But we have the Leaf.
He forgot Ivan. Pretty sure.
Did he? Interesting.
I mean, was there anything on kids? I think it was a Tingle statue or something.
Or
maybe not.
Don't recall. I want to say you are correct in saying it was a Tingle statue. I'm trying to look at Momo's tracker to see if there's anything different. I don't think so. Speaking of Tingle statues, here's another one. We're getting close to all 5. Yeah, we're getting close to all 5. Yeah, there's 3 on. I like how I instinctively looked at Momo's tracker to see if we had all 5. I'm in the commentary booth. I can literally just look like a few pixels down and I can see the tracker and the number. So I think, yeah. Anyway.
What about the tracker? Do they remember what was on Hide and Seek?
Yeah, look like how compare the trackers.
Nothing.
Like...
Alright.
Okay. Yeah, everything else on like Momo's tracker that Momo has over Magnus, none of it I don't remember ever coming from kids, so makes sense. Yeah, Advocate pretty much like saying what he remembers of the checks, so it makes sense.
The bombs were Voltorbs. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's like a lot that's like really cool about like the Lucario model and just like the Pokemon models in general that I quite like looking. I mean, I say that as the guy who runs the default Link model with like a few color changes here and there. But no, I can appreciate a good model when I see one, and they're always fun to play.
I will definitely change my model after S6, but not for now because it might screw up my strategies and stuff.
You do get like very attuned to the models you use. Yeah, like for example, I've like from like talking to Momo, like I guess like before this race, or not necessarily before this race specifically, but just in general, like she said that like she kind of like not necessarily needs to play with the Lucario model, but she plays most comfortable with that model, with the kind of, because like for example, and there were some tricks where you would use like Lucario, or just your model in general as like a visual cue. I guess like an example I can give for my own stuff is in a temple basement for the roll clip for the boss key. I'll often use like kind of like the shadow on Link's cap as a good visual cue, and like visual cues like that are only really like things that you get from your specific model, and so changing models you kind of lose those visual cues, and you have to kind of find more or like stuff like that.
Yeah. Momo going to Diamond Step. Unfortunately, we will have we probably will have to come back twice.
Yeah. Short question.
I think this is probably spiky, except if this is magic.
If this is magic, that would be good for Momo here at Angular.
Or Oakshot, if he's cider. This is always magic, trust.
It does appear that way. It does appear that way. Apparently in like half the seeds, this is where magic lies.
I don't know, I've never seen magic here myself. Like in the seeds I've played.
I have seen magic here a few times in my season 6 career. Yeah, no, it do happen. But we'll see if that do be happening this time around.
We have Maggie's letter. It's
which could lead to magic, but no.
Where? Wait, where is Magnus going?
Magnus appears to be going somewhere. I've kind of lost where he is, so it'll be interesting to see where he arrives.
Oh, he's using his storage to go to Thorn.
Oh, interesting. Interesting strategy. Where did he get storage from? Oh,
the top of Boulder.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is Thorned.
This is Thorned. He's sailing enough for it to be Thorned. He's sailing a lot, actually. Like, wow.
Yeah, he's got the wacky compass.
wacky compass, do be the technical term. But yeah, no, this appears to be this is Thorned. Yeah, it was quite a long sail. But if anything is at Thorned, then that is actually be quite good for Magnus.
Yeah, because Momo can't do the.
Momo right now can only do either BPR or Thorned with the normal storage checks that she has accessible to her from Cliff Flat. So if she does get Thorned, or if she does choose Thorned, then that would make Magnus's play here not that much of a big deal. Although I can't remember what was on Bird's Peaks. Anyway, but then, yeah, it depends also on Magnus's side. We'll see.
It's just a treasure chart.
It's a treasure chart. Okay, so regardless, that's not going to matter too much for Magnus.
Where are the items? Honestly.
Yeah, no, they're hiding. They're hiding. Well, we do be half an hour in. I mean, at this point we do have some items. We're not like completely itemless. We have projectiles, especially on Momo's end. Oh look, here. On Momo's end we have leaf bombs, boomerang, power bracelets, most of the delivery bag checks, a good few tingle statues. Like we have a bunch of items. It's just that we don't have things to use these items for. We don't have magic. We don't have other stuff. We can't really use a lot of these items right now. So like we're still in that like uncomfortable early game stage where you have some items, you're running out of checks. So really at this point, both these players are probably going to be making like the least worst plays because they'll probably have to pick something like I don't know, off the top of my head, like Bomb Island from like Angular without lethal hookshot. So things like that. Yeah, I've been mentioning in chat like some interesting strats that Magnus could have done here, and yeah, it's like, I mean, here's the thing: a lot of like a lot of the of strats like this can be like, again, like obviously like kind of off meta strats can be quite unique, and so you like it's possible he probably wasn't thinking of like alternate ways he could save time there, because like those strats like again sailing from DRI to Thorned under normal circumstances, not many people will do that. It just made sense in this instance because the fly check was dead. Yeah.
Even Bomb Island's dead. Where are the checks? Where's the progression?
Yeah, we're just kind of waiting for like doing just a few items at this point to burst everything open. But again, it's that uncomfortable part of the seed where you have a bunch of like, we have like 5 locations left and they all suck. And this is the part like whenever I'm playing a seed, I'll encounter this part and I'll just think that my routing is like just trash because you can't make any good decisions, and then the bad decisions you make don't end up paying off because they're bad decisions, and that's just how rando works sometimes. So it do be like that.
We might have to go check top of the or like vanilla leaf. Where? Paw print? We going paw print?
It does look like okay, Magnus is going paw print. Okay, so he's going to have access to all the checks. Although again, I do believe Scale the Wall was dead from what we saw on Momo's side, if I'm not mistaken. So that isn't going to matter too much. Like that's not going to be much of an edge over Momo. If that chest was spiky or is spiky, then that could give Magnus a bit of an edge. But otherwise, it makes sense for Magnus either way. He's going into it with the expectation that he can do literally everything, and he's going to get bombs anyway from this. So, I
mean, he can do it. He can do all of it.
Also, hello, Salvage Corp. Long time no see. Normally, with the Western Swim, I believe it's the first time I've actually seen Salvage Corp. Or did we get it from Momo? I can't remember. She must have done it when she went surely. But normally, yeah. Okay, Adverse saying in chat Momo did. I just not paying attention. But yeah, no. When it is very common to now in seeds nowadays to just like start with the Western Super Swim, and when you're at Western Fairy Islands, Salvage Corp is just like, hi, hello, I'm here, and so often you'll just do it right then and there. But in any case, right now we're at that part of the seed where again everything is a really uncomfortable decision. And right now both these runners are doing the things that the other runners already done. Momo's checking Bomb Island, which Magnus has already done. Magnus is checking Print, which Momo's already done. So we're just kind of waiting for one of these runners to do something that the other hasn't, and then potentially find the progression. But yeah, no. So far, it has been interesting to see the different ways how the runners have been doing both of these. Again, you see on Momo's side, very path hint orientated. Again, going for Windfall and then pretty much outset immediately afterwards. And then Magnus again going to Cliff Plat, then to outset, then to Windfall. Still kind of following the path hints, but also still trying to be convenient here and there, and just trying not to, trying not to leave himself open to any backtracking, which I can respect as well. So Magnus finding bombs. Momo now going to be doing Ghost Ship. She does have more stuff compared to Magnus when he did it. Although I guess a lot of that stuff isn't going to be helpful too much.
Yeah.
Like, for example, she has Leaf, but no magic, so she can't Leaf Pump. Bombs probably can be useful for speeding up certain things. She's got no real projectile that can do a bunch of damage, so she just has to kind of just boomerang everything, which is a little bit finicky. But hey, at least she has a sword, Copium.
I mean, Magnus did too. Okay, Magnus going to Eastern Fairy now.
I'm talking about the prospect of in like other settings doing this without a sword. It's hell.
Honestly, I think progression will be on Tree Branch.
Yeah.
It's either that or
that makes
near
sense.
Rock Shift.
I've noticed personally that a lot of stuff is nowadays on Tree Branch, and a lot I've noticed, especially in Season 6, that often I have to find myself doing on Tree Branch a lot more.
Wait, we know that on Tree Branch is the delivery bag actually.
Yes, actually, that's a good point. So we might see. I'll just go for that. And yeah, like again, as Adverse pointed out in chat on the Momo side, she wasn't getting the best of. She still isn't even getting the best of Wizrobe RNG, and just best of Ghost. Just the best of Ghost Ships in general. Again, this is what I mean when it comes to Ghost Ship. If you have a rough time and you don't have the right items, things can go downhill really quickly. And a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings about Ghost Ship, and will say that it is their least favorite setting. I want to say this is Momo's least favorite setting. It's definitely not my favorite. Definitely not. It's definitely up there for my least favorite.
It's definitely more useful in like All Sanity, where you can use it to grind rupees and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. Like there are some uses to Ghost Ship, i.e. the amount of money you get afterwards. But either way, we do see Magnus getting the leaf there, and yeah, this is painful to watch on Momo's side. She's just getting like pummeled by that Ghost Ship. It's rough. Again, Ghost Ship. It's just one of those checks that, if it happens, things can just go downhill really quickly. I know I joked about the fact she has a sword, which is good, but she doesn't. She only has the hero sword, or the practice sword, as I like to call it. But no. So there's only so much damage that she can do. So she's not doing a huge amount of damage to the wizard here. Oh my god, Magnus's bombs are twice bigger compared to the moment. Okay, so
the wizard's dead, and the Stalfos not.
Stalfos is giving her a hard time. Normally, again, ideally when you fight Stalfos, you normally have the boomerang bombs and skull hammer. There's the kind of the dubbed Stalfos killing kit, but she doesn't have the skull hammer, so she's unable to really do much here. So she kind of just has to.
That's so rough.
Yeah, this is not the. Not the Ghost Ship that she would have wanted, and again, it do be painful to watch.
Golden Devil, the bombs aren't Pokeball; they're Volt Orbs.
They're Pokemon stuff. As a man myself who doesn't know much about Pokemon, other than actually not much. It looked like Pokemon thing, so it's easy to point. I think go Pokeball.
Fair. Okay. Now, where will Momo be going for a statement? She's gonna go get her delivery bag.
Golden Devil, I'm right with you, buddy. Yeah, getting the delivery bag on Momo's end actually makes a lot of sense. Again, she has a decent chunk of things you can use with the delivery bag. She's already marked on her tracker, so she's gonna be getting it soon. Again, it's like, again, Cabana Deed, Maggie's letter, note to mum. A lot of the stuff just kind of makes sense. So yeah.
And then Magnus will be getting his Maggie's letter that is on top of that. I assume he'll be going to get his delivery bag afterwards.
Yeah, I believe like Advo's kind of saying in chat that like really we're kind of running out of checks here. It's kind of Needle Rock might be the only one. Ahead, chat is winning. I think chat is biased because that sentence was literally said by the chat. But no, right now it's kind of hard to tell. It appears that I guess it doesn't appear that anyone has a specific edge. To be honest, it's more just kind of like we're still at that uncomfortable part of the seed where things are just like locked and we're waiting on like a few items here. It does appear that Momo does have a few extra items over Magnus, so there. If you wanted to say like who's ahead in that regard, I guess you could say Momo has a slight edge, and I wouldn't be surprised if she does have a few more checks over Magnus at this point. But we're still waiting on a bunch of items to say for certain who is ahead. So yeah, Momo just getting a delivery bag. Magnus following suit pretty much at this point. Looking like he's gonna be getting the delivery bag soon enough.
Momo gonna be mailing the letters. Chat finished in first place with a time of 2:34. Let's go.
Yeah, like Momo's done like a few checks here and there over Magnus.
I mean, Magnus has done a few too.
Yeah.
I think only one.
Yeah.
Only torn.
Yeah, but no, again, a lot of this just kind of makes sense. Again, Momo going into this being the first seed of Challenge Cup, and again having a few years of experience. Magnus, I believe I'm not even going to say what seed Magnus is because I can't remember off the top of my head. 16, yes. So a little bit like kind of lower down on the seedings, and a little bit of a newcomer. But honestly, here's the thing, a big part about a big part about Challenge Cup is often not who is like the best. It's often who improves really like quickly. Like we saw this last year with Challenge Cup, where we had people like Jaznix who came in roughly kind of middle-ish of the pack, maybe like top half, but then just end up like just blowing past everyone. And then by the time tournament ended, he could probably compete against some of the top in the world at that point.
Even in S4 Challenge Cup, the two finalists in Challenge Cup were Spy and Advo. So
yeah. So it's so seeding alone. Like again, I'm by no means shooting down Momo here. Like being first seed in any bracket is an accomplishment in itself, and just shows that like at the very least going right off the bat at this tournament, she is like one of, if not pretty much one of, if like not the major contender to win. But like as we've been seeing with Magnus as a player hasn't been. Like he's been improving. You can tell. You can tell he's been putting in the effort.
Especially lately, Momo and Magnus have been doing quite a few races against each other in the last few weeks.
Yeah, it has been kind of interesting to see like both of these runners, like again quite frequently. Like both of these runners have been really practicing a lot over just the last few days. They both very much want to win this, and both players are able to. This is a best of one, I remind you, and in best of ones, in randomizers, anything can happen. So, on paper, this might look like it's Momo's victory, and she is, of course, the favorite to win this. But that doesn't. But like you could tell Magnus is gonna give it his best go.
I mean, random stuff like that 2 to 20 minutes that can change any race.
Oh yeah, anything can happen. But yeah, then you get the Picto box on Cafe Bar, which is interesting. Very interesting place. Picto. Not the most useful thing in the world because Pompian River is dead, but if we get another Picto, then that might be useful for Minenko.
Going Great Fish. Did we get magic? No, I don't think so. Going there just for the Zunari trade quest. I'm gonna peek at the same time the chest. See if we have to come back later. I'm probably gonna go get the shield that's on Islet afterwards, because we do need one of those at some point. And considering we have ET, we probably need both.
Yeah. Alright, so Momo at this point just doing Zunari. It kind of looks like both players are doing Zunari. We're still, like, I can kind of see just on Magnus's tracker, again, 6 locations accessible. We're at that point of the seed. We are well into that point of the seed where everything just kind of sucks. And we're really just waiting on a few more items to get that progression. And so, yeah, so both runners pretty much at a very similar point right now. It looks like Momo is going to Islet. Interesting. I guess this kind of makes sense from her, given that I don't think she's done Diamond Step yet.
I mean, we do need to go to Highlight to go get the shield, as I said.
Unless Diamond Step was... Okay, yeah.
And we don't have,
and it's like,
we don't have hookshot. At this point, might as well wait for hookshot.
It is kind of interesting because I do know Momo to be a super swimmer, and honestly quite a competent one as well. But you know, she's just gonna be getting this right off the bat, right at this point, like not even waiting for the Ochi to super swim, which you know makes sense. But the Islet super swim is, but between the two, that's most commonly seen in races: the Western swim and the Islet swim. The Islet swim is a little bit more picky just because of how small the island is. So if she
the gap you need.
Yeah. So if she wants to go for this, just purely based on safety. And it being convenient now, and so she wouldn't have to do the swim later, it makes a lot of sense. Again...
Oh my god, we got a shield. Who could believe it?
Who could believe it, honestly, yeah. Like, wow. It's as if we knew all along. I'm sorry. But no. But yeah, it's... again, I remind you guys, best of one. Best of ones are very scary. And so... It's very possible that we might not... That we might see a lot of these runners not take a lot of risks. I don't know how intentional this was on Momo's end, but again, not super swimming might be on her end trying not to take risks and just trying to go for safety. Which on Momo's end that makes a lot of sense because she is very much the favorite to win this matchup. But it is just interesting how best of ones kind of play with your head, especially in contrast to best of threes, because you know that anything could happen in best of one, anything.
Is it something I wasn't seeing?
It's hard to see when there's a bush in the way.
Yeah, if Momo's going for it, then it's probably something. Oh,
it looks like it looked like something.
The bush.
There's I for whatever reason, right? Needle Rock chest is just one of the hardest checks to peek. On paper it shouldn't be. It's on ground level, and it's fine. But the bush is just like, oh, that's bad for Momo. She lost a pair. She has one more in reserve, thankfully, but you know.
No, she duped it.
Ah, okay, that's even better.
Yeah, you can dupe it while doing the same trick as the soup.
I kind of forgot that duping like that existed for other things other than soup. I will not lie.
Another thing you can do with duping is, if you have Tingle Tuner and Bomb, you can do the same thing, but equip Bomb, and it will put out a bomb.
Also, yeah, my goodness, Momo, please do not give me a heart attack like that again. Please just fly the bird into the crystal. Okay, there's hook shots.
So that means that the diamond step action afterwards for both of them.
It do be in logic, and it's right there actually. We might just see a straight go there. If she's thinking about it. It could be entirely possible that she just doesn't think about it and then just goes straight ahead and just warps out, which is something that I would do, to be honest. I very rarely think about stuff like that. But no, she thinks she considers it, and then she does see diamond stuff like that.
Where's the statue that Momo has over Magnus?
I cannot remember.
Headstone. Okay, yeah.
Headstone, Advo says in chat. That is very correct, yes.
Thank you, our trackers. They are great. Often, as a as the fruit as a pear. No, Magnus with the trouble.
Man's just missing it. Okay, but he gets it again right there, yeah.
That was very Monka.
Yeah, flying the bird can be quite tricky sometimes. Anyone who's tried to do Bird Speak Rock vanilla strats will know that. Momo almost jumping over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh, Magnus. Not going to Diamond Step.
Has he already done it? I can't.
No, no, he hasn't. He was gonna warp the outset, but then he was like, "Wait, I'm right
Okay,
next."
yeah. It's hard to keep track sometimes, especially as a commentator who doesn't have a tracker and a brain apparently. But in any case, Momo just doing this. And come on, Melody. Not required in any sense of the word, but it do be there. So
I mean, it's required for ET.
Yeah.
Will we need it? Probably not. But
It
so
can be useful. But anyway, we are just looking for like two things at this point. We're looking for magic to do FW, and looking for Skull Hammer, pretty much. Okay, there's the last Tingle statue, so wouldn't be surprised if things are on ankle at this point, given how early we've seen those Tingle statues. Again, 15 minutes in, we've got all 5, which isn't, I guess, the earliest in the world. Yeah, Magus's hookshot there. Another good Pokemon model. Yeah. Yeah, Momo just going straight to ankle there.
makes sense. You have the shot. You have the 5 tingle statue. No reason to go later.
Okay, the purple rupee there, and then Moment of Truth.
It's
More
just
money.
an orange.
Alright, so it looks like on Momo's tracker, she really just has like an outset. She has a windfall check and really private oasis. Say so. She's going to windfall at this point. I can't tell what that extra check on windfall is that she hasn't got.
Zunari.
Oh yes, that would make sense. Sorry, you guys call me mid yawn, but yeah, Zunari.
Magnus will be going to Zunari as well now. Since he doesn't have the Tingle statue.
Oh, that's right. No, actually, he's going to go Headstone to get it.
Oh, he's going Headstone to get it.
There's the Skull Hammer. Okay, so now things are starting to open for Momo here. She has the ability to do
big
Forsaken Fortress. Okay, oh yeah, Magnus does have a few more things. Yeah. Momo does have the ability to do Forsaken Fortress, although she doesn't have a sword, so she won't be able to do Phantom Ganon. She can full clear Private Oasis. She's going straight to Forsaken Fortress. Makes sense. It's a required dungeon. You probably have to do it eventually. That extra sword might come back to bite her. Although if she does end up finding a sword in the dungeon, that would not make it an issue for her. So, not a bad play at all. And also, again, worst case scenario, she doesn't do Phantom Ganon. She can just come back later. It's not the worst. It's not the most amount of backtracking in the world. Alright, so yeah, but yeah, then you see on Magnus's end, Big Pig, he's just doing Big Pig right now. Again, we just see this on Momo's end earlier. But again, he's going to place the pig right here. How we go? having a little bit of troubles with Big Pig there.
Eat the pig.
But he does a successful hit.
Oh wait, where did we find Skullhammer? Was it on Zunari?
That was on Zunari, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but then we get Moblin's letter again on Momo's end. Getting trolled by the Moblins here a little bit. But yeah, it do be easily done. Like, I always kill the Moblins when they're up here. Just because they can be really annoying, but yeah, Momo makes it past no problem after that.
Not gonna do headstone?
No, it does appear that, again, as we've been seeing, Magnus, it looks like he's going to be trying to combine sort of Headstone with Earth Temple, which is respectable. Again, as we're seeing, Magnus has the playstyle where he is trying to minimize backtrack as much as possible, and by going to Headstone early, it's like backtracking is kind of just like you're creating more sailing stuff because you have to go back there again eventually to enter Earth Temple.
Where's magic though? We're an hour in. We don't have magic. We don't have a bow. We don't have a sword.
We do have quite a few items at this point, but we're also missing a bunch of other items. So yeah, we're still very much nowhere near the finishing point, but it is okay because both these runners are doing great, and are quite nice to watch, and they're actually pretty close. Relatively speaking,
yeah.
Like Momo has a few checks over Magnus, but they're both in the same dungeon at this point.
Pretty sure at this point the only check that Momo has over Magnus is like ankle and headstone. Meanwhile, Magnus has Thorned.
Yeah.
The greatest hammer of all time.
That's a good hammer. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and the shield is like Aegis Slash.
Nice, yeah.
Was it Forest Fire Mountain hit the Baron? I don't remember.
I can't remember.
No,
either.
it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, but no, I mean, like, for a like 1v16-ish like seeded bracket, like this is getting surprisingly close. Again, it's like both runners have something over the other. But yeah, like Momo just finishing FF and Magnus, pretty much in FF at this point. So and like it just goes to show that like especially in Challenge Cup that like it's like if runners improve, then like things can get kind of things can sometimes honestly just get messy with the bracket, I guess, lack of a better way of putting it. And so at this point, it is still anyone's game. Either of these runners can make quite a devastating mistake at this point and hand it over to the other player. Like yes, Momo is first seed, and at this point I believe has taken every single race against Magnus. I wouldn't say almost all.
No, I just checked because I was curious, and Magnus has won one of them.
Has won one of them, yeah. But like, it's.
But even then, it was still close, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Relatively close, yeah. But like, I mean, again, just how much they've both been racing. Momo still like, but between the two runners,
Momo got the helmet rock off. Fuck no.
Oh no, that's painful. That is painful, especially because Magnus is right on her tail. Magnus is approaching Helmrock at this point, and that. I mean, obviously that like I doubt that's gonna. Actually, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna say that is quite a bit of time loss on Momo's end. Quite a bit of very unfortunate time loss. And it just gives Magnus a little bit more breathing space to catch up.
No, Magnus, you need to grapple. No, you don't. Oh no, you, because that's only after having done the Phantom Cannon.
Correct. Yeah, we have almost synchronized Skullhammer hits. Magnus hitting the switch to open the Helmrock fight, and Momo activating the fight here.
Okay, please no soft lock, Momo. If we
My
wanted things to be fair, then Magnus would soft lock as well.
Oh yeah, someone just like call up Magnus real quick and just go like, "Ayo."
S7 will have no longer soft locks.
Yes,
It will have been patched.
Yeah. I think it's been said that Largo has been working on that, and I believe he's got it. It should be great.
Yeah, it's really funny because Lago did not know that was a possibility.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Wait, you get soft lock that? Let me fix it real quick."
Alright, so your second time to charm on Momo's ends.
Okay,
There
bird.
he is.
The bird. Bam. 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 You kill the bird. Smash his face in. With the dust call. Oh. Magnus? Oh, okay. Happy 1 hour.
We have been watching Wind Waker for 1 hour at this point. But yeah, again, these runs are they're getting quite close here. Again, Momo just done with Helmrock fight. Magnus kind of in the second half of the fight. If you're rooting for Momo here, you definitely want Magnus to also soft lock because that soft lock for Momo was quite devastating. But it seems that Helmrock on Magnus's end is going to not be wasting any time. We're just going immediately down to him, so that's some pretty good RNG on his end. Again, that's that type of thing where again Momo does have a lead here. It's going to give Magnus a little bit more wiggle room to catch up.
Okay, now where? Wait, why are we going? Oh, yeah, right. Momo's going there to check Cabana. Now she can.
Yep.
And afterwards, I think all we have left is like Dodgy and stuff.
Dodgy is not a dungeon.
No, not Dodgy. I mean ET. Dodgy is technically a dungeon, but not one of our dungeons.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, now I think we're kind of back into this part. we're still really into the point of the seed where things are starting to open up. We really just need magic, and still neither of the runners have found that yet. So we're just kind of waiting.
I mean, neither of the runners have found a bow or a sword either.
Yeah. What a seed already. Who rolled this? Golden Devil. Golden Devil, did you roll this?
Okay, Momo gonna check mail.
I did. Of course you did. Yeah, but no. Just to clarify, people rolling seeds doesn't actually like. Yes, we'd like to meme saying that like some people have roll bad seeds, but actually, you know, no one person can affect, and this is a plando. No one person can really affect how seeds are. Unless you're Trez, but Trez is the exception to every rule here.
Or Cubs.
Yeah.
Cubs roll shit seeds as well.
Well, Cubs basically Cubs roll seeds that are basically plandos. Like,
yeah.
If anyone who saw the first qualifier knows this.
Right, it was rolled by Cubs. Okay. Yeah, you certainly did, Advo. Honestly, there is not a huge difference between both of them.
Yeah. Again, it appears that like Magnus seems to be, at the very least, on Momo's tail, if not kind of, dare I say, catching up. To, like, so you know, it's
Okay, what
like,
is this? It's
what is
our
this?
first sword.
It do be our first sword.
And there's also
So,
spiky.
okay,
What
yeah,
is it?
double spiky, very interesting.
Male.
Wallet,
More male.
more mail checks, yeah.
At least we have a sword. That's
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kirby fan 9000 asking in the chat, do you go back to Phantom Cannon? That is the question here. Because neither of the runners had that sword when they did Forsaken Fortress, so
where's Momo
yeah.
gonna go now?
Momo is very much deciding where to go now.
Wait, where are you going, Momo? Is she going to Torn? It looks
She's
like it.
going somewhere. I think she hasn't, no?
Yeah, no, she hasn't done Torn, so that seems that's where she's going.
Okay. Yeah, that is quite a long... That is a very, very long boat ride, but honestly, what else can you do here?
I mean, at this point, I'd super swim there.
Honestly.
It is a quite long swim, but it's possible. Okay. Oh, Magnus going back to Forsaken to do Phantom Ganon. That's a pink Phantom Ganon.
It do?
Oh, male add
Deluxe Picto.
Momo got the roll. Bog. Oh, that is Pikey. What is it?
That is a spike just indeed on Magnus's end. Mirror shields.
Honestly, I'd be happy with that. I'd go Heaty like.
I mean, here's the thing. What do the runners have left? That's the question.
They have some Windfall. They have Angular. That they
Was Angular Cave a thing? Do you remember?
no, we don't. We didn't know because we didn't have Leaf or we didn't have Magic or Hookshot. Didn't neither of them checked out.
Okay. So neither runner was able to even peek the chest.
Momo going to get her shield now.
Yeah.
Go, mom.
Funny enough, that's not the first time I've ever seen that typo. In general, I mean.
All right. what do we got on Minenko? We
Magic.
have
There we are. Magic from Minenko there. Momo will be getting that soon enough because she does have double Picto.
Yeah, that's if she goes direct. If she goes to Windfall.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, here's the thing: Momo doesn't have that many things left. Like, she's bound to hit Windfall eventually, and I'd be very surprised if Momo takes the play of going to Earth Temple without magic, because that is pretty slow. But obviously, it will depend how things pan out.
Yeah, no bow yet. So now what we have left is Great Fish. Was Great Fish something? I don't remember. I'm not sure if JP.
I can't remember either. I see. I remember getting that second shield there, and then we'll see what she does next. Magnus. I might honestly say Magnus has a little bit of an edge here, finding that magic before Momo. And it looks like Magnus is going to be heading into Forbidden Woods right now.
That or no, it is Forbidden Woods.
Okay, so Momo heading to Windfall and going to be doing Minenko soon enough, so she's going to get magic herself.
Yo, the leaf is a Charizard.
That's insane.
That is wooden. I think that's dead. Oof. Missing the leaf pump, but that's alright. Wait, was our item int really Nero's Pearl? What a shitty item int. We don't even have Taji.
Is that even possible? Can you even get an item hint for something that isn't even, like, useful in that sense? I don't even know.
I mean, that seems that's what we got. Yeah, Windfall had Nero's. Wow.
That's whack. Yeah, anyway, but yeah, no, so Momo at this point, upon getting magic, pretty much going straight to FW as well, so both runners at this point. Here. I want to say that in the time that it took... Okay, there's the first vote. I do want to say that in the time it took for Momo to get to Thorned, I want to say Magnus caught up, and now I might have a slight lead over Momo, which is insane. Like, just how close this race is. Like, it's
honestly, the soft lock also did Momo pretty bad.
Yeah, like Momo has had like quite a few rough points. Like like the soft lock, her ghost ship was a bit rough. So
more than a bit, I think.
Yeah. There's been a lot of things that haven't really been in her favor at this point. And I guess just a bunch of that combined with things here and there have pretty much given Magnus a little bit of a lead here. But we're still very far away from finishing the seed, and a lot can happen. I'm not quite sure if we're at I think it might only just be like the halfway point of the seed. Actually, we're past it. But even still, we've got Earth Temple left to do, which is a scary dungeon. This is still anyone's game.
What was down there? Was it a key?
I can't remember. I was too busy looking at Magnus' screen. I will be quite honest.
That Charizard certainly is something. Okay, that is dead.
Alright, we're getting a bow. We have just we got on a raid from ZeldaSpeedRuns main. Welcome all people. You guys were just watching Lyric versus Lanthy. Well, guess what? You guys have more Wind Waker. We got Momo versus Magnus from the losers brackets. And yeah, no, right now this is quite a close matchup. Given given this is the first seed versus pretty much 16th seed. Both runners are entering. Both runners are in their second dungeon.
Oh, the P hat actually helped. No, never mind. I mean,
P hat's never helped.
But
yeah, so now, yeah.
Forbidden Woods without magic.
Yeah, you can see Magnus just getting a little bit more magic from that, yeah.
P hat was like, no.
Magnus is having a tough time in this room, yeah. But anyways, yeah, no. Right now this race is very close between the two runners. Just before entering Forbidden Woods, Momo did have a slight lead, but then a few things happened. And then Magnus ended up taking a bit of a lead here, at least it seems. And both runners have had their fair share. Both runners have had their fair share of mishaps. Magnus having a really rough time in this dungeon, and then Momo, she had a pretty bad go ship earlier, and also she did actually get the Hammer Rock softlock as well. So yeah, as I was saying in chat, it appears that it starts to be evening out, but there is still a lot left of the game. Again, there's Magnus has to get through this room first.
Wait, is the boat a Porygon? That's really funny.
Yeah, Magnus's thing is quite funny.
Okay, and it was dead. Mini
yeah,
boss.
and honestly, with again, like this just shows how close this race is. With all of that happening, Momo has pretty much almost just caught up. She's now like entering the room that Magnus was just struggling in quite a lot. Being safe here, dropping down to the low thing makes sense. She doesn't need magic, and she was running out of it, so there's a bit of a time loss on her end as well. So, but she is, she's taking the time to
mini
to
boss
be safe
to be spiky.
To be spiky.
Another sword.
This is our second
That's
sword
what
of
we
the day.
Yep, that's what we want to see.
Mm-hmm. Not immediately useful right now, but very required to beat the game. Runners will just need one more sword after this, and then they will have found all of their swords. But yeah, I remember having a bit of a better time in that room compared to Magnus, so saving a little bit of time there. Again, evening things out a little bit. Magnus still a little bit more further into this dungeon though. So there do be that.
It do be very close.
It do be.
More Charizard action. I think that's so spiky. Oh, never mind, it's key. Is it? Oh, it's the big key. So now we know at least that the other key is dead. Oh, the other key is down there. And
And
that's
there's
our
the last
last.
sword.
That's our last sword. Let's go. Is it something in here? It is wooden. Wait, you're not checking big key chest, or was it hinted?
It was hinted.
It wasn't it. All right.
Yeah. It was indeed mentioned by Coral at the start that it was dead. Yeah, remember falling into the water a little bit here. But it's okay because she can just get back up right there. And then yeah, Magnus ends getting close to the end of the dungeon here. So yeah, after this again, on Magnus' track, but still only like single digits of locations remaining. I want to say at this point it would make sense for him to go to somewhere like Earth Temple and do that because he can pretty much full clear that at full speed. He would need Paradise for that to be logical. But yeah, for the most part, he could pretty do all those checks there.
Yeah, we still don't have a bottle.
That is true. Actually, that is a very good point because without bottle, without soup, or without double magic, Earth Temple is kind of a scary dungeon to do, especially if you're doing many Gomo strats back to back. Kinian just asking what overworld checks are left. Not that many. Many.
Angular chests. We have Great Fish. I'm not sure if it was by key. And that's all we can do in the overworld. After that, we have ET.
There's probably a few others here and there because yeah, on Magnus Strength, I'd just say 9. But yeah, it's still kind of crazy.
Yeah, because Magnus doesn't have ankle and doesn't have headstone.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure if
so,
they marked everything.
And again, I guess that's like another thing to mention is that like again, technically right now Momo has got more overworld over Magnus, so it looks like Magnus is ahead, which he still might be, to be honest. He's finishing the dungeon as Momo's entering the boss. But again, if Magnus ends up doing things like ankle and stuff, or if Magnus ends up doing things like ankle, then that'll make the lead better for Momo there. Although there's a good chance that because ankle was dead, Magnus might actually be able to skip ankle because he might end up doing like ET and end up finding all the items in there. So it depends. It depends.
Now I think the runners will probably go angular afterwards to go check. That's what would make sense, at least. Yep, angular. Equipping hookshot. And then I can't see on this tracker. Think Momo has it marked as something on Great Fish, so I think Great Fish was something.
Would make sense.
That angular is dead. So yeah, I'd assume Great Fish, then ET.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it looks like both runners are going to Great Fish almost at the same time.
I'm surprised Momo's not going to angular.
I'm just, yeah. It's more like I'm surprised neither one has gone to angular. But I guess if this is spiky, then it makes sense to prioritize spiky chests like that.
I mean, Magnus did go to angular. It was just barren.
Well, no, I think it does make sense on. Okay, fire and ice arrows.
Probably gonna go check the rest of the overworld after that.
Yeah, that could be a thing there, but yeah. Yeah, this race is scarily close. Actually, you might not have thought it on paper and given previous race results, but it is looking like it could be close. Because like I mean, looking at it, like Magnus is playing really well, and yeah. I guess like combine that with a bunch of unfortunate things that have been happening with Momo. Magnus is definitely being able to keep good pace against Momo here.
Right, I forgot there's also outside Great Fairy that we have to do.
Yeah, this lovely Great Fairy right here.
The best one. Yeah, Magnus didn't check Needle Rock. Momo, you need to switch it to a fire arrow.
Easily done. I've had many times in my Wind Waker career where I've shot a light arrow when I've meant to shoot a regular arrow. That's a fun one because then you just lose magic at that point. Yeah, no, it happens.
Going for the storage, didn't get it. But oh, it was something spiky.
Spiky chest on Momo's end. So look, light arrows.
It's very important.
If Magnus decides to go to Earth Temple now and Momo doesn't, then that could be another advantage on Momo's side, because having lights early, especially for Earth Temple, will speed a few things up.
We have the bottle.
Oh, that's a lovely bottle placement right there. Just amazing.
Getting the fairy, then we'll get Grandma.
I mean, yeah, I do say that, but it is convenient because the fairies are right there. So it could be worse. It could be bottled underneath Grandma's house. That's a lovely one. Yeah, it appears that Man's just doing that stuff. Momo, it appears that Momo's going for a few more overworld checks. Yeah, she's just going for some very nice stuff here. And yeah, I've got to say, Chaz Punches was spiky, so it makes a lot of sense to rush information like that.
True.
Again, slight spoilers for my race versus Jim a few years ago, but that did lose me the races. That Jim had this exact chest actually be spiky, and he rushed it because of that information. So it's never a bad idea to rush information. No, but we are getting soup on Magnus's end, which he'll be very happy to have. Given that, especially if he's planning on entering Earth Temple, because again, having soup for Earth Temple is very convenient here.
Momo.
She's got it. She's got it.
Big creepers.
Just bubbles to the ground, like, oh, hey, creep.
No,
just a chop.
Big creepers are sad today. And Graham believers are also sad today, I think. No, this is soup. They are also sad.
Alright, the spiky chest here. What is it going to be? A shard. That is good. That is good for Momo. So now, Momo at this point is kind of a shard and lights and charging a bow over Magnus right now. Magnus, who appears to be going into Earth Temple at this point. And I think that this race could be decided by how barren Earth Temple is. If Earth Temple is really barren, and Momo could just kind of walk through and go mode most of it, that'd be really good for her. But if something is like really late into Earth Temple, then that's kind of favorable for Magnus. So it depends at this point where all the items are. Again, both these runners have been pretty much routing completely different for the whole time. As you saw earlier, Momo very hint focused, Magnus very like efficiency focused. And nowadays we can kind of see Momo really wanted to bring out the overworld here, whilst Magnus not necessarily rushing dungeons, but definitely prioritizing Earth Temple over some spiky chests. It seems. Again, he didn't.
No,
he
it's a thing. It's our last single statue. It's not a shard.
Yes. So yeah, no, honestly, like, this race can still be decided by just where the items are at this point. Again, like, Momo does have a few items over him, but that's just because she's done more overworld, and that's just where those items were specifically. It could be that all the other items are in Earth Temple, and that might be a problem for Momo. But nevertheless, we'll see how the seed pans out.
Yeah. Honestly, so far, no. Oh wait, is this spiky? It is. It's another
shard. Momo is getting more and more rewarded the more she stays in Overworld.
So we're now missing one shard.
We're missing one shard. Depends where that one last shard is. If that one last shard is in something like room with like the 3 blocks room, or just in a place where you do it really late in Earth Temple, that could still be good for Magnus. But otherwise things are starting to look up for Momo, especially as she kind of lost that lead post Forsaken Fortress.
Yeah. We know that Hangkiller is barren, or like the cave is dead. So, will we see a Fire Mountain play?
Potentially. Okay, depends what Momo wants to do here. Does she want to stay in Overworld, or does she want to bite the bullet, as Magnus has done, and head to a final dungeon? Very much depends.
Where is she going? To DRI, so she's gonna be checking Fire Mountain before going to ET.
Yep, it does appear to be so.
I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, I'm like, ET was not into Baron, so there's probably at least one thing.
Right, yeah.
But what if? Magnus gonna check left side first. I don't know if Momo's a left sider or basement.
I want to say Momo often likes to prefer to go for basement. I mean, Advo kind of says like this in the chat, but like I just kind of like go on his point. Yeah, like that's the thing with left side is that like in comparison to basement is way more check dense. So it kind of, especially if you're only missing like if you only have one item left to look for, then it can be lost. But Magnus appears to be struggling a little bit with this movement here. This movement can be a little bit finicky. But he's getting it. He's getting it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Magnus got it.
I think Fire Mountain was dead, right? Oh, Momo, right? She's gonna.
Fire Mountain was
She
dead, yes.
has to check Great Fairy.
Yep. Yeah, Momo's very much going to be doing that, and then probably into Grandma, I imagine.
Yeah. So far, I think this is Momo's race to lose. But it honestly depends where the last shard is.
It depends where the last shard is, yeah.
If it is left side and Momo does basement first,
That's spiky.
Then maybe there is the possibility that Momo last locations this.
Yeah.
It's still not over. This race can still go either way.
Template is very much like that in a lot of ways, where a lot of it is really just dependent on where, like, the last shot is. And honestly, I'm starting to be impressed by just how much knowledge Magnus knows. Like, you know, he's doing a bunch of stuff that honestly, like, I wouldn't even like comprehend sometimes. Like you know, some things that I'd know to do, but like I would never really like think about. But he's doing a bunch of like strats and races. Granted, I am not the most knowledgeable player, and that's by far my biggest weakness. But like just like a mid challenge cup runner, like the amount of knowledge that it looks like Magnus has is actually like good on him. You know, yeah. And you could tell he's been practicing.
Just play a few all sanities, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but that's pain. Anyway,
yeah, mini blends was honestly a really good thing. We definitely need to have another one of these eventually.
I know mini blends was very good for a lot of people. I have like talked to Momo about it. Like I know that she says that like a lot of like her improvement was down to something like mini blends, and we've got a lot more. We've got a lot of people in the main tournament bracket from it. Yeah, that's where the last shot is. All right, left side Earth Temple. Now it just depends where, at what point Momo gets that. From her perspective, that is pretty late into the dungeon, especially if she does basement first. That could potentially be bad for her. But to be honest, it's very likely that Magnus will end up full clearing the dungeon anyway. So, if you're someone here who's rooting for Momo, you might be able to rest easy in that knowledge. But it's still anyone's game.
I'm rooting for either, because no matter which one wins, they'll be my next opponent.
Yeah, that's true. I believe the winner of this does go to face you in the next round.
Yeah, in winners' quarters.
Winners' quarters, yes. Yeah.
So I think we had one shard in Ice Ring, one on Windfall, and lights on Needle Rock. I'm really surprised Magnus didn't go. bonking medley. That was wooden. I mean, makes sense at this point. We don't technically need anything. So yeah, it's likely that Dense Pearl was indeed foolish, but Nero's was the item location. The item in. That's very weird.
Okay, so yeah, remember using the light arrow strat there, which is pretty useful.
Yeah.
Did she pick up the chest?
No, she didn't.
Okay,
It was a brown chest anyway.
Okay, it was a brown chest. I can tell if it's a brown chest or a blue chest, but yeah.
Magnus struggling with the storage.
Yeah, it's another storage spot that can be quite finicky sometimes. Okay, but Momo's going for bomb push storage here.
So yeah, the winner of this match will be against me, and the loser of this match is going against either the winner of Symphonic Link and Artemis.
Momo's showing a little bit of bomb push there, and just gonna go ahead and leave that, and then just go for the other chest here. A bit more tumbles for Momo there as well.
Dumping medley in the wall, so that's the medley wall act. Interesting. Both runners do this. Neither of them do the songstone skip.
Yeah. Honestly, especially at this level, makes sense because the songstone skip is very scary. I would argue it's one, if not the hardest roll clip in the game, just because of just like how tight everything is. And again, like messing it up has like big consequences. So it makes sense how both these runners just going safe with medley.
Yeah. Honestly, I have more trouble with the Jaboon roll clip, but that's just me.
Yeah, but the Jaboon roll clip doesn't lose you like 3 minutes if you mess it up. I mean, it loses you like 10 seconds, i.e. if you like hit the door. So
Fair.
like this has more weight to it, and also it's not just the roll clip you have to like leave around. So it's a rough one either way, I think.
Yeah, Magnus, you cannot. I'm sorry, Magnus, you can't. Pretty sure. Oh, maybe. Can you?
I've seen people do this before in like a very specific spot. Yeah. I'm not too familiar with the strat actually, but it is definitely something that people do. Yeah, Momo's just gonna like to just get the chest here as well.
Magnus got it. I did not know. Interesting. You learn something every day.
So just to kind of talk about storage here. So storage works by people getting a Wind Waker dive, and then you hit the B button 3 frames before Link hits the ground. If you do it right, Link will kind of just be have the Wind Wind Waker pulled up, and the B button will be there, but there'll be no, but like there won't be any HUD around the around Link. It'll just be like it'll look kind of broken. It's easy to miss, especially with like the runners like these where you just press like B instantly and you just know you got it. Because you can kind of tell, and also just like it's easy to differentiate getting it versus not getting it. But yeah,
I think it's really funny. Momo as Voltorbs as their bombs, and Magnus as Electrodes as his bombs.
Yeah.
No, didn't believe. That's rough.
Yeah, Magnus just not pulling Leaf right at that point, so a bit rough for him. But he should be okay. He has another key at the very least, so he can continue. But he's definitely going to want to try and get storage from some other places.
Getting the big key.
Alright, okay, so yeah. By contrast, Momo makes it over quite nicely with that leaf ball. So he just has to go over there. Now here's like, I avoided out at that point there, just before that door there. Like I've only ever done it once, but the fact I did it once terrified the hell out of me, so I've never done it again. It would be kind of rough, but yeah, Momo just gonna be picking up some magic there. Magnus doing open chest droids. This is not what I expected to see from him, but honestly, like, I'm just gonna say this, and I mean this in the best way possible. Like, hats off to Magnus. So Magnus has been I haven't seen a huge amount of Magnus's gameplay, but he's been really surprising me with this.
He got it.
Got it as well, yeah. Like Magnus has been really surprising me just with just how much knowledge he knows. And also just how he's been doing with the game and stuff like that, and again being able to he's just doing really well in this race in general.
We've definitely seen more races where the difference between the first seed and the 16th seed was more different. This is something.
I will just say this time last year when I was in Challenge Cup, I was a higher seed than Magnus is now. I believe I was like 9th seed. And you know, at the time I was like half the runner Magnus is now. It just goes to show just how much the skill ceiling has honestly just increased in Wind Waker. It's easy to see in top 24 given by how the top 16 runners are just cracked or something. But again in Challenge Cup 2, we've seen players closer to the floor of the game. Even that's been raising and been getting to a high level. So it's been actually really cool to see just how much really just the competitive scene has really been progressing.
Wouldn't be surprised if next year Magnus is in the top 24.
Yeah, Magnus looks like the person who might actually do really well in general just by how much he's improving. Because again, Challenge Cup, a big part of Challenge Cup is just how quickly you improve. But yeah, honestly, here's the thing, he's putting up a good, valiant effort against the first seed of the bracket. If that doesn't tell you that this guy has potential, I don't know what does. So yeah, no, honestly, just hats off to him, honestly. But in the meantime, Momo finishing up with Jalhala, getting that 4th cycle, unfortunately, with that one pesky one just right there. She does have light arrows over Magnus, so she is gonna do this slightly quicker.
Momo sending Jalhala to Valhalla. That is the official term from the Wind Waker book.
Is it actually?
Yes.
That is hilarious.
I believe it's Mongol who has the Wind Waker Bible, and that's what it says in there. So here, if Magnus just leaves ET and goes to check the rest of the overworld, that could be good, but probably won't happen. Momo going back in there.
Yeah, but no, yeah, just one more shard left from go on Momo's side. Magnus has a few more overworld items. And yeah. Yeah, okay, so Momo does go to basement first. Basement, conveniently, is actually a relatively quick area. So she's not going to waste. She's not going to be wasting too much time down here, although she is going to still be taking some time loss nonetheless.
Yeah, but Magnus will probably come here too, so...
Yeah, this is something that like both runners will likely do. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like as viewers, we know where everything is at this point. We're really just waiting on, well, for Momo to finish at this point. We're really just waiting on her to be getting like we're just waiting for her to get the last shot at this point, and we're also waiting for Magnus to get all his last items. So really, we're just waiting for the other person just to stumble into their items, pretty much. At this point, looking at it, it does look like it might be Momo to do that, but it's yeah.
Yep, Magnus will be going to basement, then he'll be leaving. He still has a few things left to do.
Yeah. Momo having a little bit of trouble with Medley here, just at this like really annoying angle where Medley is just being really annoying. But gets that nicely enough and is able to open up the Starfish Crypt room. There you are.
It's not over until the sword's in Ganon's head.
Very true, very true. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in Endgame, for example. Anything can happen. Okay, Momo duping before killing these guys makes sense because she was very low beforehand. And Magnus just a little bit behind her, doing some basement stuff. Again, a reminder that Momo has got a lot of overworld over. Momo's got a lot of overworld over Magnus, so. Again, it is very clear that like it does appear to be that Momo's in the lead, and Magnus doing this strat here.
Yeah, half from strats.
Half from strats. It looks like he probably isn't too comfortable with like the roll clips here. I don't blame him. This roll clip kind of sucks. Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see Momo try and get that right now. Hopefully, she gets it quickly on her end. She's running low on magic. This is the thing with single magic is that it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much, and then before you know it, you're down like most of your bar, and then you gotta time for soup again. Okay, Momo gets that roll clip quite nicely. Oh no! Unfortunate on Momo's end, just quite missing it there.
Jinxed.
Did I jinx it? I can't remember what I said, but no, it's yeah.
I don't know. It's bad vote.
I can't remember. I can't remember what I said 5 seconds ago. So there's that. Time. Anyway, so yeah, we have Momo just trying to do more of that. Magnus still doing these. Yeah. Magnus still trying to do some of the from strats. You are right, Advo. I did say that. I did say getting the roll clip quite nicely. But that's not an incorrect statement. She got the roll clip quite nicely. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Momo is done with basements. Basements,
Yeah.
as if there are multiple of them. Just basement as one of them. So
She's just got left side left.
just has left side left, and
This will be a full clear almost, or
maybe yeah. Again, that shard is in a pretty sticky place for her, from her perspective. So yeah, we've been just kind of waiting for her to get that. Again, like if this shard was in basement or even on the path to Valhalla, she would be like deep into Iroh at this point. But it just happened that the shard didn't want to play nice this time around, at least for her. And again, on Magnus' side, for doing Earth Temple firsts, again, it's like there's a lot of stuff in Overworlds that he could be that he's missing. So it's kind of bad placements for both runners. It's one of those kind of like, I guess it's kind of nice in a way that like, well, I guess it's just especially nice for Magnus that shard is even in Earth Temple, because like if you can imagine like if everything was in Overworld, Magnus would pretty much just be screwed at this point.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a balanced seed than just everything is in an X place, especially with where that shard was. Yeah, Magnus just pretty much finishing up basement at this point. Okay, now what? Now on Momo's end, what does she do now?
Going
immediately going to it. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So
that's the strat I do. You just get it, and there Momo's in go mode.
There we go mode. Yeah.
This is the stressful part because you're like, okay, my opponent hasn't finished yet.
Yeah. Like I know a lot of players who will very much not look at at race time, just because it's so anxiety inducing. For me, I find that more anxiety inducing. Like I at least want to know if the other player's finishing has beaten me or not. I mean, I could see both things, just like both things make sense. But no, I'm definitely the type of person to just stare at race time and then get really sad when the other person finishes. But yeah. Go mode, more like Mo mode.
Momo.
My mode. Shouts to never finding Din's Pearl, so there is no Tower of the Gods here.
Yeah. Once again, as I said earlier, the Din's Pearl is in a foolish location, but not but Nero's Pearl is the item in it.
Yeah. Golden Devil, you should shame me for that. It's a bad joke. Nah, Momo puns are one of the only types of puns that I can accept. So I think you're fine.
You've got to deal with that quite a bit, I assume. Happy 2 hours.
Happy 2 hours indeed.
This race will probably be finished in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's really just high roll left on Momo's end.
Treasure chart 10. Big free birds are sad today. Honestly, Creeb has been pretty dead in S6. Feel like in S5,
Cream be like that sometimes.
I feel like in S5, like Light Arrows was always either an Ice Ring or Creeb. There was nowhere else. Okay, one shard for Magnus.
Yeah, he needs one more. I can't remember where exactly, but yeah.
It was a nice ring. Was Iroh into foolish? No, it wasn't. So maybe, just maybe, Magnus will check. Trevor? We don't know where Trevor is. Likely
Yeah, Trevor has not been. Oh, no, been.
Yeah, likely not in logic. But if you had to give one check where Trevor might be, which one would you give?
Some random flipping outlook. Lookout place. Oh no.
Fair. I would say it is on Horseshoe
Horseshoe Cave.
Yeah, Horseshoe Cave. Me and Ed will have the same train of thought. I was not looking at chat. Momo getting first snipe.
Yeah, nice.
The last shard on.
Okay, missing that second. Oh, that's that shot there.
Okay, now where's Magnus gonna go? Yeah, great fish. Gonna go check near Rock Cave.
Yeah, having a bit of a hard time on PG1 on Momo's side, unfortunately. Just those tail shots right there are getting a little bit hard. Although getting that second shot right there. Yeah, but no, PG going for a bit of a spin there, so losing a little bit of time there, unfortunately. But yeah, then we have, I guess on Mag's side, he's been getting light arrows there. And then I believe that would be go mode for him, looking at his tracker.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, yeah, that would be his go mode, so he'll be entering high roll very shortly. Alright, there we go. Papagan phase 1 done for Momo.
You're a bit ahead of me, I think. Because I'm still on
I think I have a little bit, yeah, like 30 seconds delay.
Okay.
My end. There were parts of the race where on my screen I was pretty behind, so commentary page go brewer. But in any case, we now have Propaganda 2 on Momo's side, so she's gonna be trying to get a few crypt shots where Propaganda's in the air, and she's gonna be trying to like kind of snipe them there. So yeah, I just barely misses that for our first one. A little bit too late. Is okay though, because she'll have another opportunity to try again. It's more important, I feel, or it's better that you at least like hit the thing on 3 times, because what's really painful is like say on this time where you miss because you end up getting like behind Propaganda and then you end up being like a 4 cycle. That's really painful. Have I seriously just jinxed it? Please I haven't jinxed it. Yeah, I just jinxed it. I'm so sorry.
Thanks for the jinx.
Maybe I should shut up. Hey, my excuse is this all happened 10 minutes ago. I think I'm fine.
Alright, PG3 getting the first one.
No, yeah. Yeah, nice. Might be getting the second one there. Not going for the choke shot. Very understandable.
This is the last bomb. And looks like the bomb...
Right, nice snipe. nice hitting PG in the face with that light arrow.
It's not the face, it's the tail.
Okay, nice. Gets it there, yeah. Yeah, as Magnus is breaking the barrier, Momo is just finishing up Propaganda.
Okay, going for the rope climb.
Yeah, rope climb. Yeah, getting a decent way up the rope. It's respectable, because the last thing you want is to like push it a little bit too hard and then just fall right back down.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Alright, grapple skip on Momo. Not quite. She's gonna take it safe. Which is a good idea, because if he messes up, you have to do rope climb again. So
Okay.
yeah, really taking your time with this. Right, backflipping and then like there, nice. Alright, but yeah, no, now Momo in the final Ganon fight here. Doing a few spins there. Alright, good kind of first phase here. Nothing too crazy yet.
Getting the second phase parry. Second phase done.
Nice.
And now hopefully Zelda's not gonna be a troll today.
Yep. Yeah, Magnus is just climbing tower right now, just about to enter Propaganda, but yeah, that is GG for Momo, finishing with an official race time of 2:09:47, finishing in first place against Magnus. She'll be moving on to face Blanc in the next round, and Magnus will be dropping down to the losers bracket.
Indeed.
Yeah.
GG's to Momo.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, again, to Magnus putting up a very, very valiant effort against the top seed of the Challenge Cup here. It's again, as I was saying, Magnus, he do be in the loser bracket early, but I'm calling it now. He's got potential. Seeing how he's been playing, I'd be shocked if he doesn't make it much further into the tournament. He's like he do be improving fast, and I do hear our race is joining. So yeah, GG both you guys.
Hello, GG's.
How are you feeling about this heat?
Golden Devil, I wouldn't say watch your back quite yet, but you try again, and then we'll have to talk.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Did you like that item that was absolutely useless?
Be more specific. There's a lot of useless items.
No, Neru's Pearl was the item int.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
No. I mean, I still wrote it down because, let's say I only have transparent chest left or something, and I don't have Nehru's. I'm then gonna know that it's there because I peeked it early and I saw it was spiky. But it ended up being, I think, on Tot or something, and I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was not nice.
Magnus, you really surprised that it's going for open chest storage.
Excuse me? Where did you do open chest storage?
In Earth Temple.
Yeah, Earth Temple. Instead of doing bomb push, he did.
I am so bad at bomb push that I opted to do open chest storage instead.
In the floor master room.
Yeah.
I agree. That's just a flex. I don't ever go for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just saying, it's just before you guys joined, actually, just how kind of impressed we all were with just how much knowledge Magnus had, and just kind of the way you were playing, especially as a kind of middle of the pack challenge cup round. As I was saying before, but again, it's you may be in loser bracket round 1, but that doesn't mean that again, if you get limited soon, judging by how you're playing, I'd be shocked again to put a very close. To pick up a fight with the top tier of the bracket, you'll definitely go far. And honestly, just on that point, this race was actually quite close at sometimes, around Forsaken Fortress.
Yeah, after Forsaken Fortress, Magnus was ahead.
It did seem that way, at least for a little bit.
I kind of did feel very good after Forsaken Fortress, yeah.
I did not, because I went and set out a sword, and then I had to go back, and then
Magnus did
there,
too.
but...
Magnus did too. Magnus did have to go back.
Yeah, I doubled it. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to make sure I get this chain of events right. There was a Picto on... No, there wasn't a Picto on Zunari. Zunari had the hammer. Something had the Picto, which then locked magic on Mineko.
Yeah, I think it was Phantom Ganon.
There was one on Postman, and there was one on Wallet Mail.
Wallet Mail, and Wallet Mail was in Cabana bottom
shaft. It was there.
I had a feeling I should just go Cabana before going FF, and I'm like, I'll be fine. Spoiler alert, I was not fine.
Yeah, I did mention immediately that sword was kind of a bit of a slap in the face to both of you that did Forsaken Fortress before that hand, but yeah.
I just realized we have matching bombs.
No, you don't actually.
Well, they have Electrode, I have...
Mine is evolved.
Yeah. Your bombs are just better than mine, apparently. They have better stats.
Yeah. They're also bigger.
Bigger's better, I guess. No, my execution throughout the whole seed was just kind of meh. Not to mention Ghost Ship.
Yeah.
I've never been... listen. As a speedrunner, I'm used to getting fucked by RNG. However, That was just like, are you kidding me? Out of all the times, this is why Ghost Ship is my least favorite check in the entire game besides golf, and golf is still better than Ghost Ship. It's just because like it's in logic right away as soon as you get the chart, and it's like I just hate it. I hate Ghost Ship.
Especially in this seed where the only item both of you had going in Ghost Ship was Boomerang and Hero Sword. That's it.
I did Ghost Ship like first.
Yeah, you did. You did Ghost Ship first.
I guess you could have had Hookshot for it, logically, which would have made it a little bit easier, but yeah.
But still not
I
great.
mean, Boomerang Boomerang works. You know, you can stun him if he's in the air. The Wizrobe.
Yeah. And then he still spawned a Stalfos, and then it took me forever to kill the Stalfos, and I think I wasted like 5 minutes on Ghost Ship or something. I might go back and time it, but
yeah,
it did look very painful in the moment. Yeah,
I literally I screamed. I was just like, "Are you freaking kidding me? Die!" Listen, I don't scream a lot while playing this game.
The Rock soft lock was pretty.
Oh, you got soft locked?
That was my fault. That was straight up my fault. My setup, I put in the wrong input because and I just ended up jumping off on accident, and so I didn't get up there in time. That was entirely my fault.
It's okay. In S7, that won't happen again.
True.
Well, that's
they
right.
fixed it in the next version.
I'm gonna miss it a little bit, but not too much.
I'm gonna miss it when it happens to the other opponent and not me. That's when I'm gonna miss it.
Of course. You gotta hope for the downfall of your opponent.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Alright, so I guess while you're here, Blah, you're going down.
Oh shit.
The smack talk has already begun.
Also, I would like to say, fuck P-heads. They're bullies.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, Magnus, your room before me boss in FW. That was also painful to watch, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
You fell down like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, they
more than that, I think.
It was a few.
To the point where I just took out my bow and killed them, but.
Magnus, was your first bow also in Forbidden Woods?
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Bows were awful.
Basically, the way I played it is I had the knowledge of the spiky chest on transparent chest and also on Greyfish. So as soon as I could, I was gonna rush that. But then I got to a point where I'm just like, I don't have fire and ice arrows, so I can't get the spiky chest on Windfall. Going in checking Angular Cave is gonna be bad because maybe fire and ice is it Greyfish. And even if it's not, then I'm leaving Needle Rock there. And like it was like there were no optimal like things for me to do at all. I will say I am fairly glad that I cleared Overworld before I went to
Overworld.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what decided the race.
I think so.
That secured your win. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought about just going ET, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait until I at least have maybe one shard left. And then I went through and I did the ET go mode stuff, and I didn't have the shard. I'm like, it could be on Beta Mail. However, I have not seen a singular spiky chest that could be a Baron blocker, so it's more likely to be in here. So
yeah, it was left side. Yeah, I kind of when I went because I didn't go mode, I just full cleared Earth Temple when I saw the basement. I did basement last, and when I saw that was all empty, I kind of knew like, yeah, nah, this is probably a loss from that point.
It was still a good race.
It was
go back to watch it because it was fun. And like as we said, we don't think your tournament ends here. Like you're gonna be going against either the winner of Symphonic Link and Artemis Myths, but I think you can go further.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't have to race again for a while.
Hey, I mean that.
Well, no, neither are you.
What do you mean neither do you? I mean we have a race. We have races to do.
Well, let's race tomorrow.
I'm not sure if we can.
Yes.
Once it
No,
is.
if we make it for 4:30, technically it's within 24 hours, so it's fine. If we put it
Yeah,
in right
but-
now. I'm just kidding. I don't want to race tomorrow.
It's not within three weeks of the deadline anyway, so we can't.
Oh shoot! Yeah, that's right.
Spy and Jasnick's doing their full thing like 2 months in advance.
They had a reason for doing that, so
Hey man, they're speedrunners. I don't know what you want from them.
they had a reason for doing that. So
Yeah.
GG's Magnus.
Yeah, very much GG's.
Yeah, so I'll see you in grand finals.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
What? Not me? You're not gonna see me in grand finals? Then
I'll believe it when I see it.
Not because I'm gonna beat you, bro.
nah, I don't
Hopefully.
think so.
I don't know. Maybe not.
All right,
So-
unless anyone has anything else, I think that's going to do it for our stream today.
Yep.
Cheers.
GG's to Momo, and it's a really fun race. Magnus as well, GG's to you. Thanks to Kit and Blanc for their commentary, and
My pleasure.
Advo and Whooper for the tracking, which is a huge help. There, I think, is another Wind Waker randomizer race on one of the ZSR channels later today, although I don't know which one. But there will be a lot more Wind Waker in the weeks to come, so if you stay tuned, you'll get to watch a lot more.
It'll be, I think, a Challenge Cup race.
No. So, thanks everyone for watching, and have a great day and great Labor Day if you're in the US.
Or Canada.